Ugh, I have been recording for an hour now, and once my tutorial was done, when I started doing the editing, I see that the complete audio was missing. I found myself so frustrated. I was like, I have just wasted an hour. What am I trying to do here? So then I thought maybe there should be a app that should be available which can detect in a live recording the audio vocals, right? Like it should be able to detect, is my sound being reached as an input to my Mac and then to my OBS system, which has been recording this. Then I saw this application called macsoundbar.com. Under this, there was this application which has um, which has an app audio where I can see the sound bars. Whenever the user is speaking, it can indicate the vocals. There are different ways. I think the spectrum way or in the waveform way, they have all the different ways to see that. But when I saw the cost, I was like, oh, this cost me $10 around, for a lifetime subscription. One time purchase, no subscription model. It's like one time purchase. I was like, no, I can create something like this for myself and start using that. So I thought, why don't I create this desktop application? Maybe in sort of a Electron.js. Using the Electron.js, I can create this desktop application to capture my sound vocals as an input and help me to monitor always. So I have created, let me quickly open. I have created this desktop application. Maybe I'll quickly run locally. I have created this desktop application. Rather than buying this, I have created this desktop application. I'll quickly minimize this. I have created this desktop application that would help me to capture my audio. I need to select a microphone. I'll select right now, since I'm using, I'll quickly share my camera. Since I'm using this audio array as my microphone, so I would select my soundbar visual, my audio input as audio array. And whenever I try to speak, it shows me the sound bar, right? It shows me the sound bar. Similarly, it shows the waveform, whatever the feature this Mac soundbar is providing, the spectrum. I have also thought about, why don't I have something like a circle which is revolving, and whenever I speak, I can capture that as well, the complete sound vocal, right? On top, I was thinking that, okay, I can't keep having this detachable window while I'm recording. Rather, I was thinking that, why don't I have, okay, these are all the application downloads which I did to see. I'll just eject everything. Up, up, up. Okay, we are good. So yeah, so the application, the Electron application is running locally. And I also wanted not just a detachable window, but for me it will be more useful in my menu bar, in my status bar over here in this menu bar. If I have a menu icon, and that menu icon is live right now, you see, it is performing live. If I speak more loudly, you see the green color. If I speak less, you see the circle size has been reduced. Similarly, if I have the bar, and if I speak slowly, you see the bars are, and similarly the waveform as well as the spectrum. So all this is lively viewed. I can just minimize this, and you can still see that I really like the circle, because it clearly indicates The size of the circle indicates my pitch, my vocal pitch, how low and how high it is right now. Right. So yeah, this is something I really wanted. I have created that application, and coming back. So this is what the application is all about, right? But coming back, I wanted to also share how did I implement this. The code was here. The code is maybe I'll quickly close this application. I also wanted to share how did I create that, how did I create this application, and we would in this tutorial we would also look into the architectural part of it, the how part of it. The We will have a quick code walkthrough as well. So stay with me right now, and we would do the complete step by step overview. First and foremost, the application is clear, right? What this application does. After that, I want to quickly share. I want to quickly share. I want to quickly deploy this app. If I want to deploy this, I can run npm run dist. Let me quickly commit my previous code. Just ignore that. So I have quickly build this application. I'm trying to build this application so that I don't keep running this npm run start. I'm trying to build that by using the command npm run dist, using this Electron builder to build it. Now it is trying to build it. It is trying to package my application, the Electron app. I'm building it in the zip format, not in DMG, the older formats, or not in other formats. I'm rather zipping the application. And also, it says that skipped macOS application code sign in cannot find the valid developer ID application. As a warning, it says that it cannot find the code signing in, right? The application signing. I will explain this because we will see some sort of an errors when we see this. Huh? So you will have to follow me to understand that what this warning means and what is necessary for in order to fix this warning. Okay, so I have run npm run dist using the Electron builder. It has built it, and under the dist folder you have seen now, you have seen this zip file getting generated. I will open it in the Finder, and I'll expand the zip, and you see this Soundbar app, right? Right now, the Soundbar app is not running. I have closed it, the one that was running locally in the dev mode. But here is my app now. I can You see the kind is the type is application. It is no more a zip or a document or some sort of a YAML or anything. It is rather an application. And when I double click this application, I have my app ready. I can choose my audio array, and you can see in my menu bar as well, the status bar as well, on the top right corner you can see the icon running live to show this indication, as well as in the detachable window as well, which I generally don't use, right? So this application is running fine, totally fine, right? But now I want to share it with others as well. I want to share with the complete users, or the complete world, right? I want to share this app. I can't have it locally. It is working fine, right? I have built it and I'm able to run this application. Everything looks good. So but I really want to share this. So if I want to share this, what did I do? I was thinking that I can push this to S3, and from S3 I can have this app hosted, so that anyone can download from there. So in order to do that, i have um, I have written this command npm run release, which would run the dist if the dist is not there, and then it would run the deploy command as well. First it will do the Electron build, and then it would sync to S3. It would exclude all the path, just include the zip path, huh? So if I run this npm release, Maybe I'll see if there is something in my S3. I've already had it. I'll quickly delete this guy. I'm deleting my old object. So it is building it and it will deploy it in the S3. So what am I trying to do? If I want to explain quickly, once I have my packaged Electron app, I'm trying to directly deploy that to S3 under a folder directory of tsabunka downloads, which is my parent or my root S3 directory. Under that, there is a desktop app, and then under this desktop app, there is Soundbar Monitor subdirectory, and then I have the zip folder which is getting deployed. You see, it is now deploying into my S3. So I'm trying to do that. Here I have considered to be very specific to have this kind of directory structure, the T Sabunka downloads, right? Um, the reason being, okay, the reason being that today I'm doing desktop app. Tomorrow I will have the mobile applications as well. So I can have desktop app, mobile app, so on and so forth. And then under the desktop app, I can have multiple desktop app. Right now, I'm deploying the soundbar monitor, but later I can have multiple desktop application as well. So that's why I have been thoughtful about that. That I would like to have the S3 bucket at the root directory. It will be tsabunka downloads. Today it is desktop app. Tomorrow I can have mobile apps hosted here, and then the soundbar monitor as one of the desktop app. Later I can have multiple desktop apps, and yeah, I have my zip folder ready to share with everyone. But now I need to host this. In order to host this zip file, I need a HTML page to be hosted, because I this is my AWS console, right? I can't provide my AWS console credentials to everyone. Rather, I need to host it publicly in sort of an HTML page, in sort of a web application or a web page, that would help anyone to download it. So first, I would try to explain the high level architecture, and then we would see in terms of code how we can deep dive into it. Huh? So, first and foremost, I'll maximize this. So, let's say if there is a user who wants to download this folders, who wants to download this app, he would visit downloads.tsabunka.com. When he visits this, it goes to Route 53, downloads the subdomain approach URL, which I've already covered in my previous tutorial. It would simply route to my CDN. And in my CDN, I have hosted this HTML page. Instead of hosting this HTML page, I have already embedded the HTML tags inside my Lambda Edge functions. We will see more about Lambda Edge functions in detail, but I'll quickly walk through the high level architecture first. So first, Route 53 would be routing this downloads.tsabunka.com to a specific CDN, and this CDN actually is pointing to this ST directory, but in a form of a HTML sort of a fashion. So something like this, right? Where if you go to downloads.tsabunka.com, by the way, I've also added this inside my portfolio. So if I go to downloads.tsabunka.com as an end user, I see desktop app. Under the desktop app, that subdirectory, I see soundbar monitor, and under soundbar monitor, I already see this application, the zip file. Huh? So I can download it and start installing it. So yeah, this is pointing to the S3 which I have done. I'll do the code walkthrough as well. Before that, I quickly wanted to see if I can download this zip file and start installing it. Okay, this has been downloaded. And if I unzip it, I do see that the app is available. And when I try to run this application, it's trying to verify. Okay, you see this pop-up, right? You see this pop-up saying soundbar monitor.app not opened. Apple cannot verify. Um, Apple cannot verify the Soundbar Monitor app is free of malware that may harm your Mac or compromise your privacy. So, since you remember when I was trying to show you one warning that the code sign in was not done, this is what I meant, that I need to do the code sign in, um, or else Apple would consider this as a malware application. Um, uh, so in order to say that, hey Apple, and by the way, I need to have the right Apple ID. And if you remember, it was saying me that, see here, skipped macOS application code sign in. I need a developer ID application, a valid developer ID application, which I need to subscribe from the Apple. And I need to pay Apple developer ID around 99. There is a cost associated to it, that which I think cost associated. You see, I must be enrolled into an Apple developer program, and there is a cost associated to it, 99 USD per year. I don't want to pay this cost just to host my application. So if somebody is wanting, and when I say done, it would never be installed. If I go back to my Finder, if I say again done, it would never be installed. I would never be able to use it. Or I need to say move to bin. Again, it would be moved to bin. So I'm not able to install this. What can I do? What can I do to run my application, or to provide this application all over the world? Anyone can download it without paying or without enrolling the Apple developer program to get a valid Apple ID and the certificate and the code sign in part. How can I skip that part, right? um, if I want to do something like this, what I can do is here, if I go to this question mark, Apple says that it cannot check the malicious software, but you can skip this part. Your Mac, you can skip this part. What you need to do is, it says I need to go to my settings, inside that privacy and security, and underneath, you see there is a pop up over here. Soundbar monitor was blocked to protect your Mac. I'll say open anyway. Done. Maybe I'll say open anyway. It says open soundbar monitor.app. Apple is not able to verify that it is free of malware and could harm your Mac or compromise your privacy. Don't open this unless you're certain about the trustworthy of the source. I would say, I would not like to say move to bin, but I'll say open anyway. Now it will ask me to be super sure that I'm the admin, and it will let me in. So now I'm able to open this, and now this pop-up has gone from my security. Quickly close everything so that it is much more clear. So yeah, if I can reopen again, if I can quickly quit. Now if I try to do it again, I don't get that pop-up because I have, in my privacy setting, I have allowed it with my admin credentials. So now I can view it. So now this has been installed. So if I select the audio array, you can still see that my audio array is working onto my menu bar icon as well, in my window as well, window view as well. So this works good. So sort of a workaround if I don't want to pay. Now I quickly want to go through. I think the how part is clear. Sorry, the what part is clear. Let's deep dive into the how part. So first and foremost, as I explained, when a user enters to download.tsabunka.com, he is redirected from downloads.tsabunka.com with a simple routing to the CDN, and this is the CDN which is directing to the S3. And when this CDN has been invoked, instead of directing to the S3, there is a interceptor sort of functionality that is happening thanks to a concept called lambda h functions, which we'll go through in detail. And we will see what a lambda h function does in this context. So um, yeah, so every request when we are trying to hit or invoke the directory subdirectories under the downloads hyphen tsabunka.com, it has been intercepted by the lambda h function, and that is where we are able to see this html page. The html page view has been viewed for an external user. Okay, getting back into the lambda h function, what does the lambda h function does? It basically intercepts all the http request which has been invoked from cdn to the s3. We are invoking this lambda function. It lists the s3 objects whatever I have, starting from the directory and all its subdirectory, and return an embedded html page. We will see in the code what do I mean by return the embedded html page. I think I have not opened it. I'll quickly open that in my code. So this is what I mean by embedded html page. This is the lambda h function. By the way, I have two repository. One repository is where my complete soundbar monitor desktop application rely or holds or is present. And then I have second repository, which is downloads t sabunkar hosting terraform, where I have the complete infrastructure as code available in my the complete terraform application, the infrastructure as code available in this repository. And as well it has the lambda edge function, the python function underneath. And this is something very generic function. It is not specific to, since it is not specific to this desktop application, tomorrow if I have any other desktop application, or if I have any other mobile application as well, this would still holds good. This lambda h function would still holds good. So to quickly, let me try to use the two window screen. What is going wrong? Okay, so coming back, as I was explaining that the lambda h function, since I and also this lambda h function. Okay, I was here. So I was explaining about the lambda h function. This lambda h function is super generic function. Anything that is under this t sabunkar downloads folder and all its subdirectory, it would able to embed the html tags. So you see every any directory, any subdirectories or any files which is present under t sabunkar downloads, which is the root s3 bucket, the root s3 bucket, any of the subdirectories or files are all been embedded with the html file, which gives you this view. So if I go back, so you see the dot dot, the prepond file, or if you want to go the previous page or the next page. So all this has this the html tags over here. All this has been embedded inside this lambda h python file. You can ask me, Tejas, why did not you create a separate python, separate html and css? Reason being, I wanted to keep it very simple. The html view, I wanted to keep the html view super simple. I did not wanted to have a very fancy ui, let's say in that way. So yeah, this lambda h function would be intercepted, and every directory which is present, every subdirectories which is present under the t sabunkar downloads would be visible inside this view. in the form of HTML tags. And yeah, that is more about the lambda h function. But the question arises, okay, I do understand now what lambda h functions does. It basically is interrupting every invocation that is happening from the CDN to view inside your subdirectories of your S3. That is clear, Tejas. What exactly it does? What is it meant for? Let's say in that way. So you might have known about lambda functions. Lambda function, it's basically, if we speak in terms of location, it is specifically in the AWS region, whereas lambda h function, it is more towards the CloudFront or global region, in more of a CloudFront or CDN. That is what it does even in this use case. Similarly, for the trigger, in terms of lambda, we trigger it by a gateway, API gateway as a REST API endpoints, or S3 events, or SQS event. But whereas the lambda h function, to trigger lambda h function, it is majorly from the CloudFront events. Even in for our case, it is, we have seen how we are intercepting every HTTP request that has been invoked from CDN. In terms of latency, in lambda, since you have all the business logic, the it has a higher latency, I would say, for the end user, whereas lambda h, it has the lower latency. Reason being, it is on to the directly hooked towards the CDN part, and CDN is available closer to the user, so it is quite faster, so it has lower latency. Yeah, lambda is majorly, as I said, it is for the business logic, or your REST APIs, create, read, update, delete, that connects to the database. If you need something for the processing, all these cases lambda is the best purpose for. Whereas the lambda h is majorly for, to modify or to intercept a request that is coming from the CDN. Here we have seen for the HTTP request how we are intercepting it. We can use it for to redirect or to reroute, or to use it for the authentication purpose, something onto this sort of ideology. The lambda h function holds good for. Here I'm using it to intercept the request, which is to embed the HTML file or HTML tags. That is what I have been doing. And as well, if you see, if you speak in terms of CDNs, any of the CDN, sorry, in this my CDN, slash the desktop app, where I have the desktop app, the subdirectory, because the desktop app itself is inside the T Sabunka downloads. And if you go inside the desktop app, you will find the Soundbar Monitor, where I have my zip file. So yeah, all the zip file is viewable or is hosted inside the S3, and that has been available to any of the end user who can see and download it. So majorly, I want to quickly explain about. I want to quickly explain about this desktop application, which I have newly created and hosted it onto S3, and made it available to all the end user. So feel free to download it and let me know in the chat if you liked it, or let me know if you want it not just for the Mac, since Electron.js is universal, or it's not dependent on the operating system. It can be used for Windows, for Mac, for also for the Linux part. I can also extend this application for the Windows users as well, or the Linux users as well. Just let me know in the comment, if you like this application, if it is helpful, and even if you have faced something onto this problem, and if this application is helpful and you're able to use it, do let me know in the comments. Thank you.